You're stuck because you don't actually know what you want. Nothing reliably gets you going, and even when motivation hits, you freeze. You mistake consequences for learning, and you skip completion. And that's why no matter how capable you are, you're not achieving your goals. These are 5 stages to move from pain to achievement. I'm going to briefly walk through each stage, why you're stuck, and a suggested tool. These are tools that I learned by painstakingly repeating goals until I finally understood the problem. Number 1 is intent. Intent is 2 things: what the goal actually is and why it's yours to achieve. Let's say you're trying to be an influencer. Every time you see someone else land brand deals, you spiral into jealousy or anger. More action won't fix that. Winning deals won't fix that. That's why you see successful people who are still angry. They're excelling at something that, one, they never fully connected to, or something that was never really for them in the first place. What's the tool? Use the emotional guidance scale as a barometer. You want to set goals from enthusiasm, curiosity, or passion. If you're working toward a goal and you notice you're sitting in insecurity, anger, or resentment, stop taking action and go back to intent. Once you're setting your goals from an emotionally safe place, you want to understand why this means so much to you. So be clear, I am doing this for, raise the stakes, and if I don't, this will happen. Don't move to the next step until your intent comes from a steadier emotional place. You know why you're doing, and the stakes are high for you. Number 2, trigger. You might think once you're clear on what you want to do, then you'll just act. No, you need readiness. And honestly, if you feel deeply about a goal but never move, it's usually because your triggers are too weak. I realized this when I caught myself jokingly saying, I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. for a Birkin, but I will wake up at 4 a.m. so I can be free and make my own choices and not going to an office. Most vision boards don't work because they're filled with things you think you should want, not things that actually move you. Nothing in them prepares your body to act. Real triggers get your adrenaline going. They wake you up. They leave very little room for negotiation. They're provocative. Triggers can also be external. When I got my G license, my biggest trigger wasn't motivation. It was booking the driving classes and paying for them. So when I got the text saying your instructor is outside, I moved. And that's what readiness, that's what real triggers do. It gets you to move. It actually prepares your body to take action. Tool, create a trigger menu. Real reasons that move you, including accountability, deadlines, emotionally intensity like desire and freedom. If your trigger doesn't make you feel something in your body, it won't move you into action. 3, action. Even with great intent and strong triggers, you can still freeze. Being stuck here is the worst because you feel the impact of high intent and readiness, which creates actual stress symptoms in your body that if they're prolonged, you can actually start feeling sick. A tool I use to propel myself into action is to just give it 10 minutes. If I feel overwhelmed or unsure what to do, I do anything related to the goal for 10 minutes. Number 4, learning. Most people burn out because they never actually learn. You repeat the effort without insight. You think the consequences of your action is learning. It's not. That's why you're having the same argument or chasing the same goal. Figure out how you actually learn, then translate your experience into your learning style. So use the VARC test. I know it's not foolproof, but it's a good starting point to see whether you're primarily a visual, auditory, read, write, or kinesthetic learner. For example, if you're an auditory learner, after you send that pitch, going back to that influencer pitch example, don't just move on. Record yourself talking about what happened, how you felt, how you moved maybe from feeling a little embarrassment back to feeling hopeful, what actually got you to follow up. These key learnings, then you listen to it repeatedly. That's where the lesson locks in. If you keep journaling, but you're not a read write learner, you're not learning while you're journaling. You're just recording pain. That's why the same mistake keeps happening. This was such an eye opener for me, a big one. Because all along I thought when I had these experiences, I'm learning from it. It will never happen again. Oh, yes, it will. Yes, it will, until I started to one, teach it because I'm a kinesthetic learner, or two, record myself talking about it. The things I would write in my journal, I would record it and listen to it. That's when I stopped making the same errors. Number 5, recovery. If you never land, you live in constant flight, you will get burnout, sickness, and resentment. I use a flight path for every goal. So takeoff will look like finishing that pitch deck. The flight plan, which is your execution, would be sending 25 pitches over the month. Landing is when you're done that, you stop. The goal is done. That's how I accomplished almost every goal this year that I've been trying to achieve since my 20s. I still have 2 major ones left, and I'll be using this model to achieve them in 2026, and they're life-changing. So ask yourself, which stage are you actually in, and what remedy are you wrongly using? I'm Chanel Vines, and this is the Quentual Guide, where we're going to learn how to achieve all our goals, do all the things we want to do with ease.